Welcome back to the Legacy of Nerd. My name is Daniel, and today I'm at Hill Country Comic Con with the amazing, legendary Nakia Burrise, because I totally didn't mortify myself and say her name totally incorrectly to her. No, that didn't happen. You may know her as the star of House Party and Atypical.
I don't know about the star, but I was in it.
So thank you for talking to me today. I really much appreciate it.
You're welcome.
We are actually approaching pretty soon 30 years for Power Rangers Zeo, and it is still one of the most relevant Power Ranger series ever. What is that like, and what is it like to be a part of the franchise like that?
It's a blessing. No one could have told me 30 years later that I would be at Comic-Cons meeting amazing fans and talking about my time on Power Rangers, because when I was on the show, we didn't have social media. So I was told how popular it was, but I didn't know that it would go on this long. So it's amazing.
And I mean, like, for fans like me, like, I'm still trying to get some of the stuff that I missed when I was a kid. I didn't have a full-time job, but now I'm going back, and I got a bunch of my Zeo stuff just in the last couple of years, because it was that amazing. It was that cool. We moved on from Mighty Morphin to Zeo. It was a big deal for us Power Ranger fans.
Thank you.
How did you decide to become an actress?
Oh, I came out of the womb acting, guys. It was just, I was always performing in my living room. I used to watch the Carol Burnett show.
Yeah.
I would watch her skits, create my own skits, force my brother to do skits with me, perform in front of our parents and make them watch. So I've been performing since I was little, and it's
in your blood.
I was like, I'm going to be an actress, singer, dancer, model, and a cashier. So I've been able to do it all.
Well, that's awesome. So Tanya's character is interesting, is that Tanya has the most confusing origin of any Power Ranger that is. Have you ever tried to make sense of that?
At one point I did, and then I was like, whatever. Just move it. I remember being on the show, and I was like, coming from Africa, should I have an accent? Asking the producers. They were like, no, don't worry about it. I was like, okay. There's a lot of unexplained storylines and plot twists, and that just don't. We just roll with it.
Have you ever heard any good theories from any fans or anything?
Yes. One fan told me that Tanya was in Africa on vacation. So that's why she didn't have an accent.
Okay.
And he had some really good support to make it seem like that was actually true.
In the show, your parents or Tanya's parents were travelers, or explorers.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that she might be in Africa.
Yeah, just exploring and not actually from there. So I was like, okay, that sounds good too.
There you go. It's
good. With that.
Good enough. Good enough. So you yourself, you actually are a YouTube sensation. You got Power Rangers Playback that you do with your awesome friend Catherine, who is our lovely Zeo Pink Ranger.
Yes.
How did that start?
Well, we were at a convention in Scotland, and it was not very busy. And to our right, there was Nolan North and Baker. What was his last name? Todd Baker. I can't remember. Okay. They were best friends, and they had this line that was like ridiculous. And I was like, what is, I knew that they were voiceover actors and in camera actors as well. But they had a YouTube channel called Retro Replay. And we're like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. We should do something like that. And so we literally, while we were there, and it was not busy for us, we were like, what could we do? What would our YouTube channel be? Like what? And so we came up with the idea that we would watch our episodes, because that's what we get asked most. What were you thinking? Or what was happening behind the scenes during episode 355?
Yeah.
So we're like, that's what we'll do. We'll watch the episodes, it'll be playback, and we'll talk about what was happening. So, and we came up with the logo, came up with all of that. And then the day that it's supposed to air, we get a copyright claim because we're watching the whole episode.
Yep.
And Toy, the Japanese company, and Hasbro gave us a copyright claim.
I've gotten one too.
And so the copyright claim was for, the episode was 20 minutes.
Yeah.
15 minutes of that had to be cut out in order for us to not get a strike.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was the editor at the time. So I was like, Kat.
And you put all that work into it already.
Yes. And, and had hyped it up. And you guys are going to see this. And so that 20-minute episode dropped down to 5 minutes. and you really didn't get to see any footage.
Yeah.
And it sucked. And we kept getting copyright claims. And so obviously watching playback episodes was not going to work.
Yeah.
And so we were forced to come up with our own content. And Kat is a morning person. I'm a night owl. So I would literally be up in the middle of the night thinking of ideas, praying and asking God. And he gave me like a slew of ideas. And I would tell her in the morning, this is what we should do. Da-da-da. And so, you know what? I see the copyright claims actually as a blessing.
Yeah.
Because it forced us to come up with new ideas. So now we have a game show. We have live interviews. We have what's called 5 questions, where it's somewhat of a playback, but you know, we interview Power Ranger stars and they tell us about their favorite episode, and then we'll show like quick clips of the episode, as opposed
I think
to
you get like 10 seconds and they don't care.
Yes. So it forced us
You're doing toy reviews also now, I saw.
Yeah, we've started amateur toy reviews. That's been a lot of fun.
You had a Power Dome, and I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, I had never seen one of those before. We were actually signing at a comic book store, and he pulled out this Power Dome, and we were like, what is that? Why is it called a Power Dome?
Yeah.
And it was a command center, but it was originally called the Power Dome, so
It's funny, if you think about doing toy reviews in the future, a lot of the turbo stuff, a lot of people back then, for some reason, like the jacks and the little toys didn't really sell well. People love those now. I got little pieces for those, and people were like, how much for it? How much for it?
Really?
So a lot of the turbo stuff is super popular now. I don't know why. It's very picked up in the last 5 years or so.
Maybe because there wasn't a lot made. Not like MMPR. Like MMPR has 50,000 million things, and Turbo does not have as much. So maybe that's why.
And I think they started to change the idea of what they wanted to do with merchandise as well. So next question. Hasbro calls you and they go, you can write whatever you want. We'll give you as many episodes. We'll give you a movie. Don't matter. Just write the Power Rangers 30th anniversary. What would you do with it?
What would I do with it? Well, I would start by bringing everybody that was involved in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I would bring them all and somehow create a story that involves, even if it's just a quick cameo by each person, have them involved inside of it. I don't know what the storyline would be. We would have to figure it out, but I would start there.
You just want to see everybody there.
Yeah, because I feel like, I mean, just even with myself, I'm the only one in my Zeo season that has not returned to Power Rangers. Yeah. The only one. Because my entire cast was in Mighty Morphin. Yeah. So they've gone back for anniversary episodes and were part of this last episode. And, you know, I've never been invited to come back. I mean, well, we had that. Yeah, technically, no, I haven't. So I would include the Alien Rangers because they were part of MMPR. Make sure that Bulk and Skull are there. I don't know if they're part of the anniversary episode or not, but I would invite everybody that was involved, even if it's just a quick cameo.
I would like to see some of the old obscure villains from Zeo. That'd be really cool to go through. Like, oh yeah, we survived. I know they kind of did Forever Red, but I definitely like the Machine Empire was really, really cool.
Machine Empire, they're funny.
That's true. So where can they find you? I know obviously you're on YouTube. Where else can they find you?
So I'll start with YouTube, which is Power Rangers Playback. We also have an Instagram, Power Rangers Playback, but I'm on Instagram under Nakia Burrise, my first and last name. Facebook is Nakia.Burrise, and Twitter is Nakia Burrise.
You have a website, NakiaBurrise.com?
Yes, everything's Nakia Burrise.
Well, I'd like to thank you for speaking to the Legacy of Nerd and Countdown City Geeks. Again, we're at Hill Country Comic Con. Do you have any other cons coming up soon?
Oh, yes. I wanted to share. I co-own a convention called Ranger Stop and Pop. All things Rangers, anime, and pop culture. It's June 16th through the 18th in Atlanta at the Sheraton Atlanta Hotel. It's an all great experience. I mean, I can't even say our VIP experience is like none other. Wow. So check out our website. It's rangerstopatlanta.com. See who our guests are. We have several more guests that we're still announcing. It's going to be a great time. Great show.
Ranger Stop, one of the biggest Power Rangers conventions in the country. Right up there with all the bigger ones for sure. So I'd like to thank you. Thank you for speaking with us. I appreciate you, and you have a great day.
You too. Bye.